Unconventional parenting is parenting outside of conventional systems, school, doctors and hospitals. It's child-led and respects children's autonomy. So all of my children have been full-term breastfed. We don't have any strict rules around bedtimes, meal times. They get to choose what they want to do.
Do you enjoy learning?
I do want to get to write him when I'm probably like 7 or 8 years old.
Does any of your family judge you for your lifestyle choices?
Do you want to go first?
Oh, you go first.
Hello there. Welcome to our humble home. Come on in. My name's Matt.
And my name's Adele, and we are the Unconventional Parents. So unconventional parenting is parenting outside of the conventional systems of school and doctors and hospitals. It's an alternative approach that's child-led and respects children's autonomy.
So there's Ulysses, who is 11.
It's his decision not to take part in the filming today. Directly is his autonomy, him saying what he does and doesn't want to do, and us having to respect that.
Astara is 6, going on 7. And Kai is 3, going on 4.
Star, what age did you start sleeping in your room by yourself?
I'm pretty sure it's like about 5.
Yeah, it was around 4 and 5.
And where were you sleeping before then?
Well, before I got my bed, I was sleeping with my mum.
My eldest child, Ulysses, he's probably been the most dependent for the longest. He pretty much co-slept till 10 going on 11. Astara, the middle child, she's going on 7, and she was pretty much ready to go as soon as she got her own room, an own bunk bed.
Kai, when I said your pumpkins, these are my pumpkins.
They're not grown yet, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's it?
But these
The final child, Kai, well, she's 3.5, and I don't think she's gonna stop co-sleeping anytime soon. So all of my children have been full-term breastfed, which means that they wean naturally when they're ready. Breastfeeding is Mother Nature's immunisations. It contains all of your antibodies passed on to them. Ulysses was 5 going on 6 when he stopped breastfeeding. Astara was around 4 years old, and Kai is still breastfeeding at 3.5 years old.
did it! Hey, you didn't even crash into the radiator.
A standard day very much involves the children listening to their bodily cues. They will sleep when they're tired, they will eat when they're hungry. We don't have any strict rules around bedtimes, meal times, no strict rules around screen times. They get to choose what they want to do.
I always watch the programme while I'm eating. I just like eating with my hands.
Matt, do you ever let the kids have like junk food?
Oh mate, they love their junk food. I can't lie. I'd love to say they were clean and green, but there's crisps, there's chocolate, and pizza, and all of that sort of jazz. When you do take the reins off, and little Starbear will be the first one. In fact, if you ask her, she'll turn around and she'll say cookies or something like that as her favourite food. I remember this funny moment where I was like, cookies, man, they're not the best thing for you, buddy. And then her friends were like, well, how come you're so tall and strong? And she went, cookies must be making me tall and strong. And I was just like, oh, fine, an uphill battle here. I'm not getting through. So again, it's not about telling a person, don't do that because it's this. It's more giving them options and choices and just making them aware of the playing field.
The main parenting philosophies that I think have influenced me is attachment parenting, especially for the young infants, and then also the gentle parenting method, which is not about no discipline, it's about setting boundaries with kindness, firmness, and without hurting a child. So unschooling is home education, but it is not homeschooling. It's not taking a school curriculum into the home and sitting down and doing worksheets. The key difference is the child leads the way they learn and what they learn. So unschooling can very much look like just living in the real world. So this is our garden, or more really a farm. We have a whole flock of chickens with roosters and a little chick at the moment as well. Some bunnies back there. Being outside in nature is a huge part of their learning and exploration. We spend lots of time up at the allotments and the community allotments, so they get to learn lots, whether it's about beekeeping or Matt does a lot of woodwork with them, and they're really exposed to a big variety of things in everyday life.
Do you enjoy learning?
Yeah.
What do you enjoy learning most?
Well, I actually like doing gymnastics. I like learning gymnastics.
Like gymnastics. What about all of the reading and science and things like that? Do you enjoy that?
Well, I'm not really a science person, but I do want to get to write him when I'm probably like 7 or 8 years old.
Do you think you would want to go to school ever?
I kind of already am going to school. I go to classes, like gymnastics class and ballet class.
We do not worry about them not being in school. I would worry about what they were missing out on if they were in school, actually, the complete opposite. A conventional education, I'd say, is definitely failing a large majority of children right now. So to then, go and accuse someone that opts for a different way to be irresponsible is ironic to me.
Does any of your family sort of judge you, would you say, for your lifestyle choices?
Do you want to go first?
You go first.
The irony would be...
Not judge, more I think they could be triggered by some of the
Well, this is where the
choices
irony would be is that they would actually feel that we're the ones judging them.
Also the vaccines and the choice
that
of
one,
medicine,
yeah,
that one riles people up the wrong way because
That
they've
definitely
assumed
ruffles a few
neglect
feathers.
and that you would never use a hospital in an emergency or anything like that. Our approach to medicine is definitely alternative, herbal teas and extracts, anything directly from the plant, holistic, without side effects. It's not that we'd never ever revert to modern medicine, but it's a last resort rather than a first, and it's very rare.
So valerian growing in here, which is for insomnia or anything really sleep related. And for COVID specific, you've got pine needle tea over here, but we won't go into that. We won't go into that. We'll keep that one at bay.
Our children that have never been vaccinated, after doing the research I've done, I'm all about pro-choice. I believe if you want vaccines, you should go and take vaccines. But if your vaccine works so well, you shouldn't require others to get them. I have no expectations of how the kids are going to want to live when they grow up. It's their choice. I would just say to anyone that feels the need to judge is perhaps try and walk a few miles in someone's shoes before you take judgment over their lifestyle.
I would definitely recommend people to try other ways of living, see where it takes you. You'll be amazed.
There is something after death. We're trying to find out what it is. We have a 7-year-old daughter named Julia. She likes to go ghost hunting with us. Today's an awesome day. We're gonna be heading to the haunted Oliver estate. It can be very scary and, especially when there's kids involved. Don't move, there's somebody right in the middle of the floor.
That thing does not walk by itself.
Hi, welcome to our home. To start off, we're obviously in the big living room, kitchen area. This is our little paranormal library. We try to do a lot of research in books, come up with our theories about how the spirit world works. That's actually my Vortex spirit box. We keep sage handy due to the fact that this is a haunted home that we discovered shortly after we moved in. If you're a girl, please turn the flashlight on. Thank you very much. I'm Todd. This is my fiance, Marissa. We're paranormal investigators. What was that? You've never seen anything like that before? We have a 7-year-old daughter named Julia. She's also interested in the paranormal. She likes to go ghost hunting with us, whenever possible, whenever things are safe. Marissa and I, shortly after we got together, we moved into a nice apartment that was unknowingly haunted. We would see apparitions, shadow figures, things would be thrown, we would hear voices. I would be held down in bed and paralyzed.
Yeah.
And I could see this tall, slender shadow figure in the corner of the room.
I didn't know what the heck was going on. His eyes would be open and he was just like making these strange noises.
At the time, we didn't know where to go to get help. So we started researching it ourselves. If you can turn this on just by twisting the end of it, then we will know you're here. The first thing we actually used to communicate with spirits was a simple little mini mag light.
Flashlight. We'll put 2 flashlights out, ask them to turn this one on if it's yes, this one on if it's no. When we get responses, it's unbelievable. Like, even to this day, it blows me away.
Oh my God, good job.
Oh God.
We moved into a converted old school building last year, and unknowingly, funny enough, it's also haunted. Marissa said she heard somebody whispering to her in the bathroom, and Julie said she heard something knocking on the wall. We took out the equipment and decided to investigate our own home. We have a known spirit here named Angie. She's become part of the family. She is like the roommate you can't see. We talk to her quite a bit.
Angie, can you say your name loud and proud, please? Yeah, there's more energy for you.
We believe that Angie watches over Julia, especially due to the fact that she's a mom. And we do believe that there may be something here that's not too friendly. And I think Angie actually keeps him from doing anything negative.
Who's on the ceiling?
We do get concerned about negative and demonic entities. We do come across them quite a bit. They can attach to you. The negative ones, the demonic ones can follow you. I've been threatened. I've been told that they were going to kill me. We do things to protect ourselves. I do wear a blessed cross. I do bring holy water, sage with me. We do pray before we begin an investigation. Tell them not to follow us, not to attach to us. So I'm just reviewing evidence from an investigation Marissa and I did at a place called Anawan Rock recently, where there was an Indian massacre that occurred. Whoa, oh my God, you see that mist? Come on, what was that? Marissa! Look. Watch this. This weird mist goes across the top of the screen and then something shoots out of the vortex. Oh, do you see that thing that came up?
Put in slow motion.
That was awesome.
show me.
You want to see it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Julia is very passionate about the paranormal like this. So
Right
tense.
there, right there. You caught it.
Yeah.
She will talk about it with her friends, and we've actually told her to kind of steer clear of it.
We kind of tell her just to keep quiet about it. It's not something that needs to be mentioned. When I grew up, my parents told me it was fake. It was just fake, But I won't do that. I'm going to tell my daughter the truth. I want her to know about it.
They're here.
They're here.
Today's an awesome day. We're going to be heading to the haunted Oliver estate in Middleborough, Massachusetts, and we're going to be taking Julia. This is the first time that she's really going to be stepping up and doing more stuff in the investigation, which should be fun for her. We've been to the Oliver house. We know what's there. It's a family. There's actually a young girl named Abby. We think it's a good place for Julia to go because we want her to interact with that spirit and give that spirit another child to interact with. So I just turned on my SLS 3D mapping camera, and it maps objects in 3D. If it was me, I would have like my body around it, around the skeleton. If it's a spirit, there's no body. As you can see, he's right there up on that wall. It's Earl. Say hi, Earl.
Hi, Earl.
Hey, buddy. Earl, we brought our daughter to talk to Abby. Raise your hand if it makes Abby happy. Look, see him raising his hand right there? Look, Earl, raise your hand if Abby want to play with our daughter.
Oh, look, waving.
Earl, can you shake my hand, sir? We come
Oh,
here.
he put his arm down. He has his arm down. He's shaking your hand.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
He's still holding your hand.
Look, and the light's on. Light's on. We got a light on. Awesome. Can you turn it off so I can ask you another question, sir? Turn the light on if any other members of your family are here. They are, okay. Can you turn the light back off, sir? This is incredible. We're gonna grab some stuff and go up to Abby's room. One of the cameras over here in this hallway too, remember? What? You had something?
Yep, sure did.
A little girl? Hey, this thing's working great right now.
This is, you can name him whatever you want.
Don't move. There's somebody right in the middle of the floor. They're playing with their blocks or something right on the energy box. Julia, don't move. Look, right there on the floor playing with the blocks. Don't go back over there.
I think she is on acid, taking all it.
That thing does not go off by itself.
And a
Good
pony.
job.
And a pony. Thank you so much.
Abby,
All right, let's try to hear her voice, Todd. Let's get this thing going.
Okay, hold on.
Abby.
Talk.
Talk. Oh my God, it says talk.
That's you talking?
Hi. No. Yes.
Abby, how old are you?
That's it, 3? The best thing we say to somebody who says that it's not real is normally we'll ask them if they believe in God. And 90% of them will say yes in one way or another. And I'll say, have you ever seen him? No. Have you ever spoken to him? No. Okay, then. Same
Well, I've
thing.
seen ghosts, and I do want everybody to know about it.
I love turning skeptics into believers. I love it.
I like the part when she was playing with the toys and stuff, but
That's
we still
incredible,
gotta
huh?
get 2 of the toys back. But do you think she'd play with the frog?
I do. I think she loves the
absolutely.
frog that you gave her. Julia knows more about the paranormal than most adults out there. She is going to be a phenomenal investigator one day.
This is the Birkinshaw family, and they have been living off-grid for 10 years.
Are you guys still alive?
Out in the bush, they hunt for their food, with all of the girls knowing their way around a gun.
Each of the girls were 10 or 11 when they first made their kills.
But some onlookers disagree with the lifestyle this family has chosen.
Is the odd person who is negative,
Got your first bear.
don't understand what we're doing here.
There were times where people were very aggressive.
12 gauge, I think I shot when I was 11.
We don't even get to hunt anymore because the girls they do it all. This one was Rose's bear, and she got this when our first 2 girls were 3 years old and 5 years old. And we had them out there in the field with us, and she was trying to shoot the bear, and I was trying to keep the kids quiet, and it's just a good memory, I guess. I think our lifestyle has lots of risk in it, and for the kids, I think there's way more risk.
Are you guys still alive?
And I think that's good for them. We balance the mothering instinct to protect, but also the encouragement to try things.
To prove the gun is safe, we're gonna point the gun in a straight direction. Gonna remove any ammo.
If you're in a rural area, every house has firearms. So we were intentional about teaching them gun safety from the very beginning.
Examine the bore.
And only at this point is it actually safe to look down the whole barrel and verify it's totally clear. And they were all shooting animals.
I can shoot pretty much anything if it's close enough and it's not too far.
Julia, hey, good shot.
Well, my first time with the big gun was when I turned 10. 12 gauge, I think I shot when I was 11.
Really, we don't even get to hunt anymore because the girls they do it all.
Let's go look at him.
Who's the best shot?
We all think we're the best shot.
We have always hunted our own red meat.
Did we get him?
Yeah, we got him.
Yes.
As soon as you shoot it, it's well, how do we recover it? Saddle up the horses!
I picked your shot.
Got one? You got one?
You serious?
And then that turns into skinning and gutting, and then it turns into cutting and wrapping and preparing, and the girls they're all really good with it.
Did you get him?
I hope so.
What would you say to someone who disagrees with young people learning to use dangerous equipment?
I would get so philosophical with someone who took issue. We train the kids to operate equipment and operate a firearm just like an adult, and We get to assess the risk and feel when they're ready. So yeah, I invite that discussion.
When we first moved out to this property, a lot of people questioned what we were doing. We started a blog and just would post pictures and videos and write things, and it was meant for family and friends, but it soon grew. The majority of the comments are people who are encouraging, but there is the odd person who is negative, who I think don't understand what we're doing here.
And some people are just downright threatening.
Yeah.
And they just write horrific things.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what happens on the internet. For sure, as parents, you're like, uh-oh, have we exposed
wrong?
our
Yeah.
kids to something? And you know, I think if you're gonna put stuff online, you're subject to that. We've been able to take control of our life. We don't have debt. We don't have mortgages.
We kind of do school when it works for us. We haven't looked back.
You know what? When you break out of the normal school kind of idea, like the sky's the limit.
All of them hopefully are gonna have babies. So Annie and Joyce are supposed to have babies in like 4 or 5 days.
Do you ever worry that your children are missing out on things?
Everyone in the world's got different opportunities, and actually, I think that our kids will be served really well by having unique experiences versus having the same experience as everyone else.
They're really free to decide whether they enjoy drawing, or if they enjoy riding horses, or if they enjoy welding. It's not set to this is a girl and this is what you have to do, and this is a boy and this is the types of things that you have to do. Living this type of lifestyle has really given them opportunity to really explore the things that they enjoy doing.
How would you feel if one of your girls moved into the city?
I presume that the girls could end up not just in a city, but around the world. We've traveled as a family and, you know, to experience different cultures. So we'll see. I swear, if one more camera person comes out here, girls, on my signal.
I'm pulling my children out of the negative things of the world. We chose to quit doing vaccinations for our children. I would not let my children get vaccinated towards the coronavirus. If you look at what's happening in America right now, it's not getting better. It's not that I don't trust people, it's just that I don't trust people.
This is the Smythe family. Kip and Carrie and their 7 children.
It goes from Caleb to Joshua to Nathan to Esther to Joseph to Naomi, then to Abigail.
They are all living off-grid on 20 acres in the Ozarks of Missouri. So how did the Smythes come to live this way?
If you look at the culture in America and what's happening in America right now, the kind of craziness, it's not getting better. Society. It's not that I don't trust people, it's just that I don't trust people. Because people are people. There's no way around it. I'm pulling my children out of the world as much as possible, but that's out of the negative things of the world.
About 10 years ago, got a real desire in my heart, Kip and I both did, to begin homesteading, growing our own food. And that led us on a journey that ended up here.
You guys ever eat junk food?
Junk food?
And it's not just their own food that they grow. They also grow their own herbal remedies.
We do more of a preventative approach. So we do a lot of herbs, essential oils, and good nutrition. None of our children have ever had to take antibiotics, which is a big blessing. We stopped vaccinations after our 3rd child because he had a very severe reaction, became very ill.
My wife started scratching her head saying, hey, seems to be kind of a consistent thing for our children.
We didn't feel it was safe any longer to give them the vaccinations. And there's a lot of controversy on that. I understand it was not an easy decision for us to make, but we feel it was right for us.
Would you get a coronavirus vaccine?
No, I would not get a coronavirus vaccine. And I would not let my children get vaccinated towards the coronavirus.
And I assume you don't get a flu shot either?
Correct.
Although Kip and Carrie's decision not to vaccinate their children is against US government advice, they have been promoting their way of living online.
So what are you up to in the garden, honey?
We are getting this bed that we just cleared of sweet potatoes ready for some fall crops.
Just under 3 years ago, we started a YouTube channel and showing our journey.
Because of living this way of life so different, maybe we'd be able to encourage others.
All of these things make life quite a bit different here. You know, our kids get up in the morning, they do their morning chores. Good morning, crew. Y'all raring to go? And then it's off to schooling, homeschooling.
Most of their time is not at the table, and they're learning in lots of different other ways. So they could be sitting down with their buddy. The 3 older children have the 3 younger children as their buddies, and so they spend time doing things together.
What are the things that you guys feel maybe other kids aren't getting that you guys are?
A lot of real life facts and problem solving in the real life world instead of just at a desk. Yeah, lots of animal husbandry stuff, broken fencing.
I think that in the public school system there are a lot of facts being fed to the children, a lot of times geared toward testing. There's other things that are more important, having the wisdom to take what you know and use it in life in a beneficial way.
I want to give my children all the tools I can give them to pursue their passions. And public school just doesn't cater to that.
But not everyone has the same view as Kip and Carrie when it comes to schooling and bringing up their children.
No matter what lifestyle you live, no matter what beliefs you have, what kind of religion, you're gonna have haters if you put yourself out in the public, no matter what. They ask a lot of questions about homeschooling. And, well, how are you socializing your children? You're so removed from the whole rest of society. When I went to school, I was getting into trouble, encouraging my friends to get into trouble. So do I want my children being influenced by one of me when I was that age? No, I don't. I really don't.
You do realize, like, this is your parents made a decision to live like this. What do you think about their decision?
I think it's a good one. And it's also how I want to live when I grow up. Just teaching me how to do that. And it gives me a lot of freedom to do what I love.
With their children's passions and freedom being one of the main drives for Kip and Carrie's way of parenting and living, how would they react if one or all of them wanted to make a more conventional lifestyle for themselves?
If they want to pursue the normal American lifestyle, go into the city, get the job and all that, I wouldn't force them to stay here. I would let them do that. I would be hurt in my heart, but I wouldn't force them. My oldest son, you know, is pursuing web design and things like that. He didn't get that from me, I'll tell you that for sure. But it's something that really interests him. He has this creativeness about him. I'm trying to empower him to do that, to pursue that.
Well, everyone has a choice to make how they're going to live their life, and thankfully we still have the freedom to make those choices. I wouldn't put my way of life on anyone if it wasn't their choice, but I wouldn't change either.